Hi, everybody. We are on to week 3. Okay, so this is where we start to get into second language acquisition. This is a really important topic for our course. Make sure that you are finished with everything from week 2 before you start week 3. You really need to understand how language is processed, how we acquire our first language, and everything about the critical period theory before you get into the information on week 3. All right. So there are 6 assignments for this week. It is a little more than usual, but this is just really important information. And you've got 2 discussions this week. Okay. Again, everything due on Sunday. So the first quiz is just a general quiz on second language acquisition. And I've got an article here for you about Stephen Krashen. He is sort of the godfather of second language acquisition theory, the way that we understand how humans acquire a second language. So I've got some information here, and that is what the quiz is based on. Then the next assignment is for you to design the ideal language school. So I've got some more information from Dr. Krashen. There's a video here. Make sure that you watch the video. Some vocabulary that you need to understand before you watch the video. And then we've got a article here that talks about different second language acquisition teaching methods. So you're going to need to choose one of these methods and you're going to need to defend it. So you're going to give me all of the information about your theoretical ideal language school. Okay, then we get into the discussion. All right, so the first discussion is talking about the 5 stages of second language acquisition. I've got a video, I've got an article, and what you should do is to choose one of these questions, just one, and then you're going to answer it. And then the prompt for the replies is very open-ended. Just choose one of your classmates' responses that you connect with and make sure that you are adding to what they say, not just saying I agree or disagree. One thing that you can do that makes it a little bit easier is choose one single sentence, one single thing that they said, and then focus in on that, giving more information, more description, or adding to what they said. Okay. The next assignment is talking about these 2 different methodologies. So ELD versus SADI. All right. And they are just 2 different approaches or methodologies about how we teach English learners. So you can read all the information about the 2 different methods. And then what I'm asking you to do is to describe both of them and then tell which one you think is going to be best. Okay. The next assignment is about Generation 1.5. So this is a very special population that we see a lot in our school system. Some of you that are in this class are considered Generation 1.5. You may or may not know that already, but after you finish reading all about it, you're going to understand that. So I've got a description here and then some tips for instructors on how to best serve these students. So here's the prompt here. Just make sure that you're answering all of that. And then that leads us into our final discussion. So this is factors that influence the acquisition of a second language. And this one is where you are going to write about your experience trying to learn or acquiring a second language. So I've got an article here that talks about the different factors. Make sure that you're reading that. That is for the replies. So for the original post, what you're going to be doing is describing one time in your life when you took a class or you were exposed to, you tried to, or maybe you were forced to try to learn or acquire a second language. Just the description of that. That's all we need. And then for the replies, what your classmates are going to do is to look back at the different factors that determine whether or not that experience is going to be a successful learning experience or not. And they're going to analyze your experience through the different factors. Okay, and then that takes us to the end of the week. Let me know if you have any problems or anything comes up, and I will be in both of those discussions, seeing what you have to say about all of this. All right, let me know if you have any questions or problems, and I will talk to you later. Bye-bye.